Hi there, I'm Dr. Rolanda Fabian, wife, mom, educator, veteran, wellness enthusiast, and I'm also the proud founder of Bright Idea Consulting. I'm passionate about helping you thrive, prioritizing your well-being, achieving your breakthroughs, and unlocking your personal potential. Here, we dive into practical tips, inspiring conversations, and transformative strategies to help you navigate life's challenges with confidence and grace. Whether you're looking to strengthen your relationships, practice better self-care, or find balance amidst the chaos, you are in the right place. So if you're ready to grow and create the life you always dreamed about, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Now let's dive into today's episode and start building your brighter tomorrow today.
Last week, I asked you to do one thing. Find something you accomplished in the last 12 months, something your past self would be proud of, and say this out loud: I did that. I'm proud of myself. How did that go? For some of you, it felt good, surprising, maybe a little emotional. Maybe you hadn't heard those words in your own voice directed at yourself in a very long time. For some of you, you tried it. You got halfway through, and then something happened. You changed the subject in your own head. You immediately added a qualification. You said it, then immediately thought of 3 things that were wrong with it. That interruption, that reflex, is what we're talking about today. Welcome to another episode of the Dr. Rolanda's Bright Ideas podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Rolanda, and this is part 2 of the Milestone Myth, and share more on the reasons you have so much success in your life, but you are stuck feeling like you will never arrive. All right, so here's what I've noticed. And I've noticed it in hundreds of women I've worked with, coached, and observed. High capacity, high output, high achieving women know how to celebrate other people, lavishly, enthusiastically, and without condition. For example, when your colleague finishes a hard project, you show up, you celebrate. You see your loved one's effort, you honor it fully without needing it to be perfect first. When your colleague gets the promotion, when your child masters something difficult, when someone on your team has a breakthrough, you are all the way there, and you make them feel seen. You mark the moment. But then something good happens for you. Celebrate? Not you. You're too busy thinking, it could have been better. It really wasn't all that impressive. Or it only worked because the circumstances helped. I still have a long way to grow. So many others would have or could have done more or better. Did you hear that? You would never say those things to someone else. You would never hold the people you care about to the standard. Yet you apply it to yourself. Sis, that is not humility. That is a double standard. And it is one that is costing you more than you know. Let me clear something up before we go further, because I think there's a lot of confusion about what we're even talking about when we say, celebrate yourself. Celebration is not a spa day. It's not a girl's trip. It's not a glass of wine at the end of a hard week. Those things are wonderful, and I'm not opposed to any of them. But if that's all celebration is, a treat you give yourself after you've earned it, you are still in the transaction mindset. You are still saying, I performed well, so I receive a reward. Honestly, that is not celebration. That is compensation. Compensation says, I worked hard, so I deserve something nice. Celebration says something different. It says, I exist. I am growing. I am worth honoring right now, today, regardless of what this week looks like. Celebration is not transactional or conditional, and it is a birthright. It is something you have to earn. Celebration is a recognition, an acknowledgement, a moment of genuine seeing, of looking at yourself and saying, I see you. I see who you are becoming, and she is already extraordinary. Let me give you a framework, because celebration is complex for most of us. It lives in all 4 of the realms we work in at Inner Realm WELLth. Last week, we talked about your spirit, physical, mental, and emotional realms. The spirit realm celebration is the act of sacred acknowledgement. It's the moment you stop, not to ask for anything, not to confess anything, not to intercede for anyone else, but just to say, thank you for what has happened in and through you, and receive it. This is different from a gratitude list. A gratitude list is a discipline. Spirit realm celebration is an encounter. It's the difference between reporting and receiving, between listing blessings and actually sitting inside of them. For the woman of faith, as many of you are, this is the moment where you let the goodness of God actually land on you, not just in your theology. The second realm is physical. Physical celebration is giving your body something other than output, not because you earned it, not as a reward for a good week, but as an act of honor. Your body has carried you through everything you have built. It has shown up when it needed to rest. It has performed under pressure. It has delivered. So, physical celebration is the act of turning toward your body with care, intentionally, not incidentally. Restoration, that is chosen. Enjoyment, without shame. Nourishment, that is not rushed. The third realm is mental. Mental celebration is the deliberate registration of your wins. This sounds simple, but it is not easy, because our brains are wired for threat detection, not win registration. We move past the accomplishment in search of the next problem. Mental celebration is the practice of forcing a pause, of making your mind slow down long enough to say, this happened, I did this. Let me actually take this in. Research is very clear that the brain needs time to consolidate positive experiences, to move them from working memory into long-term storage. When you skip that processing, your wins literally do not stick. You accomplish something big, and your brain treats it as if nothing happened, which is why you can have an extraordinary career and still feel like you haven't done anything significant. You have to recalibrate your brain to see celebrations instead of moving on the next. The fourth realm is emotional. Mental is hard, but this is the hardest one for most high achievers. Emotional celebration means letting yourself feel, but without managing the feeling, not packaging it into something presentable. Actually feeling the peace, the love, the joy, the relief, the satisfaction. And I know that many of you have been managing your emotions so efficiently for so long that this feels almost impossible. You feel a flicker of delight and immediately redirect it into the next task. You feel joy and immediately scan for what could go wrong. That was a survival reflex that is no longer serving you. Emotional celebration is learning to sit in the good feeling long enough for it to mean something, even if it's 60 seconds, even if it's uncomfortable, especially if it's uncomfortable. When you build celebration into all four realms, spirit, physical, mental, emotional, it stops being an event and starts being a posture, a way of moving through your life. Underneath all of this is an identity question, and I want to go there because it's the most important piece. The question is, who do you believe yourself to be when no one is watching? When you're not performing, when you're not producing, when you're just being you? For many of us high-achieving women, the honest answer to that question is, I don't know, because I have been performing for so long that I can't always find the line between who I am and what I do. And that is not a judgment. That is a completely predictable outcome of building your life the way you have. Inside of high-pressure, high-stakes environments where your value was tied to your output. But here's the shift I want to offer you. 2 sentences, and I want you to say them both. The old story.
Hey there, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to know if you're enjoying the show so far. If you are, this is the perfect time to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on the practical tips and inspiring conversations and our proven strategies where we're showing you how to prioritize yourself, strengthen your relationships, and thrive in every area of your life. Did you know that most of our listeners say these episodes have given them the clarity and tools that they needed to start making real changes? So don't miss out. Subscribe now and stay connected to the community that's all about helping you grow and glow. All right, now let's get back to the show.
The old story, I will be worthy of celebration when fill in the blank. No. The new story, I am worthy of celebration because I exist, period. Not because of your title, not because of your degrees, not because of how well you hold it together or how many people are depending on you or how impressive your resume is, just because you are here, because you are growing. because you have chosen day after day after day, even through seasons of difficulty and uncertainty or exhaustion, to keep becoming. And that is extraordinary. You are worthy of celebration because you exist. Full stop. That shift from earning to being is the work of a lifetime. I won't pretend it happens in one episode. But it starts right here, right now, and with that sentence. I have to address one more thing before we close, because it's one of the most reliable ways that women steal their own celebration. Comparison. Here's what I mean. So you are scrolling and you see what she built, what she launched, what she's wearing, where she traveled, how she speaks, how her brand looks, and suddenly where you are feels like less. It doesn't matter that you don't know her story. It doesn't matter that you are seeing a highlight reel, not a life. It doesn't matter that you have no idea what it cost her or what's happening behind the scenes. In that moment, her arrival feels like evidence of your not yet arriving. And I want to say this as clearly as I can. Her arrival does not diminish yours. Her milestone is not evidence that yours doesn't count. Her abundance does not reduce the supply available to you. You are not in a race with her. You are on a journey with yourself. And the person you are measuring your progress against should be that version of you from about a year ago, not the highlight reel of someone else's journey. The next time comparison tries to steal your celebration, I want you to do something. I want you to intentionally celebrate her, and then immediately after you're done, celebrate you in the same moment, because they are not in conflict. Abundance is not a zero-sum game. Her win is not your loss, and your win does not require her to have done less. Let me give you something concrete to carry out of here. This week, I want you to choose one celebration in each of the 4 realms. Just one. Not a program, not a commitment, one thing. Spirit. Spend 5 minutes in silence, not in petition and not in gratitude listening. Just receiving, sitting inside of what has been given to you and letting it actually land. Physical. Do one thing for your body that has no productivity attached to it. Not exercise as optimization, not food as fuel management. Something that honors your body as worthy, not because you earned it, but because it makes you feel good inside and out. Mental. Write down 3 things you have accomplished in the last 90 days. Not goals, accomplishments, things you actually did. And read them out loud to yourself. Then say, this is evidence of who I am. Emotional. The next time something good happens, even something small, don't redirect. Don't rush past it. Don't immediately move to the next thing. Let yourself feel it for at least 60 seconds. Set a timer if you need to. 60 seconds of actually being in that space of peace and accomplishment. Those 4 practices, as simple and seemingly unsexy, are available to you right now. They are beginning of a posture of celebration. We are closing out our celebration series today, but the practice doesn't have to end here. In fact, it shouldn't end here. This message is the foundation that everything else we do is built on, because you can't do the full work of transformation. You can't move through the stages of arriving. You can't embrace your evolution. You can't step into the next version of yourself if you don't believe that the woman you are right now is worth showing up for. She is, and she has always been. Now it's time for her to know it. If you want to do this work at a deeper level, if you're ready to map your actual depletion and start building the real sustainability strategy, the Wealth Wake Up Masterclass is where you need to be. Come join me at mc.brightideaco.com. I'm Dr. Rolanda. This is Dr. Rolanda's Bright Ideas, the podcast. It's my pleasure being on this journey with you. I will see you in the next episode, but remember, until then, the celebration isn't coming. It's already here. Tag, you're it. Be blessed.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the show and found something inspiring to take with you on your wellness journey. If you're ready to dive deeper and kickstart your journey into well-being, access all of our tools on our link tree at linktr.ee/brightideaco. Take our free wealth assessment to get started on the right path, and don't forget to check out our store at brightideaco.store, where you'll find a curated list of our tools and resources to support your personal growth in your journey.
You'll find these links in the description and in the show notes. Before you go, be sure to hit subscribe and also tap the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we release new episodes. Well, I can hardly wait to see you next time. Meanwhile, take care of yourself and keep shining bright.